Hey, good morning. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here on Supersized Business. And I promised that I would share how to get successful or how to achieve anything in a certain area of your life that you want in less than 2 weeks. And I didn't make this stuff up. I got it from Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And in that, he shares a 13-step process that is guaranteed to help you achieve whatever it is that you want in your business, in your life, in your relationships, in your health, in any area of your life. Now, as I was just spending a couple minutes getting ready to share this today, I thought, I should probably spend a day on power of thought, because all of this is based on your believing in your own ability to create whatever it is you want in your life by using your thoughts and your mind and your subconscious mind to manifest ideas and create things in the world that you want to achieve. And I'm not sure what everyone's and what your particular foundation is with this line of thinking and belief. Mine, I spent decades studying and learning and practicing the power of your mind, the power of my mind and the power of thinking, and how what we think about comes about in our lives. If I think I'm fat and ugly, guess what? All of a sudden I'm gaining weight and I'm not happy with my appearance. If I think that I'm fit and energized and active, I lose weight and I'm feeling energized and active and fit. It's not a coincidence. But since I promised that I would start right off, I'm going to talk about desire, which is the number one step in achieving anything that you want in life. If I want to lose 10 pounds, I first have to decide and have the desire to lose 10 pounds. Now, I will contend that weight loss, especially for women, is an extremely challenging and difficult goal to undertake because of all kinds of reasons, and a lot of those are what we think. Now, the struggle with the power of thought is, I recently heard a statistic that 70% of people don't want to be told that they need to change their thinking, or they need to think about something in a different way or see something in a different light, which is, again, perspective, which is thinking. Now, I don't think it's a coincidence that 70% and actually more like 90% of people in the world struggle and have difficulty. Well, if 70% openly admit that they don't want to be told that they need to think or look at their lives differently or believe different things or even can be open-minded enough to consider that their thoughts may impact what they're achieving in their life, it's no wonder so many people struggle and are failing. And not failing by my definition, failing by your own definition. Nobody can decide that you're a success or a failure but you. We each define success and failures for ourselves. So I choose to believe that any day above ground is a great successful day. For me, that's my personal belief. You might think that you have to have $10 million in the bank, have the house of your dreams, the spouse of your dreams, the perfect children, and a whole bunch of other criteria that you've decided defines success for you. My definition of success is, and again, that's changed over the years. It's very different now than it was when I was in my 20s and 30s. But now, after a few health challenges, I say any day above ground is an awesome day, and I am going to seize it and make it the best possible day that I can. And I'm going to at least make sure that I look around and I see the beauty around me and the fun around me, like singing cats for Christmas, and appreciate what is working in my life, not criticize and be upset about what isn't working in my life. So the first step, according to Napoleon Hill, is desire. And that is the starting point of all achievement, not just financial achievement for sure, but all achievement. If you want to get a particular job, you have to first want to have a particular job. If I want to be a vice president of quality for Procter & Gamble, say, I'm just making this up as I go along, I have to first decide, I want to be a vice president of quality for X company. And then I have to go about making that happen and figuring out, what do I need to do to make that happen? How can I make that a reality if that's my particular goal or desire? But until I decide or have a desire or want more or want something, I'm just living my life in the moment, day by day, going through the motions. Excuse me, throat clog. It is that wintry time of year. So, desire. What I would like to do, Napoleon Hill gives incredible examples of the impact of desire in your life and in very famous, incredible people's lives and how it has worked out for them and made all the difference in the world. And so I encourage you to, if you don't have a copy of Think and Grow Rich, get the book, read a chapter a day with me. That was my goal. I'm actually on a team that's doing Think and Grow Rich as part of our team building exercise. And so I committed to reading a chapter a day. So that's what gave me the idea to share this and show that you can achieve success in any area of your life in under 2 weeks, because there are that's probably more than 14 chapters, but I did this in 2 weeks. I read a chapter every morning. I woke up, read the chapter, highlighted what I thought was important and what spoke to me in it. I'm one of those people that writes and highlights and does all kinds of things in my books, because that's how I learn. We all learn differently, but that's how I learn, is by circling things and highlighting them and writing my own comments in the margin. Sometimes I do both, but I'd like to share my highlighted statements with you. But then I encourage you to get the book. It's available as a free PDF download. You can just Google search Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, free PDF, and you can download a copy of this book. So there's no excuse that you can't get your hands on the book or you can't read the book. It's free. It's a free PDF. Or you can go to any bookstore. You can go to Amazon, and they will have a copy of this book. Just depends if you have a desire to achieve your goal in 2 weeks or not. If you have a desire to learn a strategy that has been proven by hundreds of thousands of people for sure, probably by millions of people. And they may not have ever read Think and Grow Rich, but I guarantee they're using this strategy either on purpose or because they accidentally figured it out and stumbled upon it on their own to achieve the greatness and the things that they've wanted and that they are achieving. So, desire. And I will kind of apologize in advance. I have to use my magnifying glass. I am having eye challenges. Now, I'm going to admit, I read this entire book with my magnifying glass. So, what's your excuse? I'm too busy. I don't have time. I don't want to. I don't want to change the way I think. Well, go ahead. You go ahead and you can keep those excuses. But guess what? In 14 days, I'm going to have achieved another goal because I'm doing this with you. And you can decide right now, that's your desire. Do you want to achieve your goal or not? If you do, hey, here's the strategy. I'm going to lay it out for you in the next 13 or 14 days we'll do. In the next 14 days, one day at a time. I'm going to break it down into little pieces. And if you just do the little piece each day, I can guarantee that you will have your goal by the end of the week. Now, or the 2 weeks. Now, I'm going to say, if you say that, oh, I'm not going to qualify it, because that's up to you and thinking. And I'm not going to decide what you can or cannot achieve, because I think anything's possible. And I believe anything's possible for you as well as for me. So I'm going to use my magnifying glass and just highlight some things that I think are important. Again, he shares incredible stories in here about Barnes, who worked with Thomas Edison, about his son and his son's hearing, which is an incredible story that I encourage you to read. But he shares the method for desire. It's a 6-step method for solidifying and really honing in on your desires so that it's clear and concise in your mind. Because once it's clear in your mind, your conscious and your subconscious mind will go to work for you to create and have that manifest and show up in your life. So the 6-step process that he says to use is, number 1, fix in your mind the exact, and I'm going to use the example of money because the book is called Think and Grow Rich, so it's all about money. I personally am going through this 14 days not with money in mind, but my example for my personal life is a step-up improvement in my health and in my life, and in my physical body and my physical life. Because over the decades, I haven't always taken the best care of myself. And if you don't take good care of yourself, guess what? As we get older, our bodies wear out. So mine isn't wearing out, but it's definitely feeling the aging process. And I want to kind of stall that and reverse that to feel more energy, feel more vibrant, and feel healthier. So as I go through these 14 days, I'm using my health and improvements in my health as the exercises as I go through this process. But I will tell you the examples that he uses for money, because it's all about money and growing rich and having all of the capital and resources that you want to show up in your life. So step 1, Fix in your mind the exact amount of money that you desire. So if it's $1 million, it's $1 million. If it's $1 billion, it's $1 billion. If it's, and my advice is, it's as easy to create a small amount of money. You can say you want to do $100. If that's where your comfort level is, go ahead and pick and say, I'm going to create $100 or $1,000 or $5,000 in the next 14 days, whatever it is for you. But keep in mind, the true secret is you can use this exact same process to produce whatever you want. So why not shoot for the moon? Why not say, I'm going to make $1 million. I'm going to create $1 million. I'm going to create a $1 billion company. I'm going to create whatever it is I want and can possibly imagine and dream of and have that show up in my life. Step 2. So you need to have an exact specific amount. So maybe don't say $1 million. Say, maybe don't say $1,000. Say, I'm going to generate $997.52 by January 7th, 2018. I could be off plus or minus a day because I don't have a calendar in front of me, but I think that's about 14 days from now. Step 2, determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money that you desire. There is no free lunch, people. I know people like to think it, and politically people like to think that charity and all of these things, and charity is awesome, don't get me wrong. But there is no something for nothing. We all give either our time, our energy, our love, our attention, whatever it is. We give something in return for everything that we receive. So decide, step 1, decide exactly what you want. Step 2, decide what you're going to give or what you're going to do, what action you're going to take to get that thing that you want in return. So, for example, if I want to, I haven't actually done this for the health and exercise or the health and wellness yet, but say I want to lose 10 pounds or 6 inches on my body or my tummy or something, I don't know, in the next 14 days. What am I going to do in step 2 to make that happen? What am I willing to do? Am I willing to exercise every day? Am I willing to drink 8 glasses of water every day? Am I willing to, or what am I going to do? Not what am I willing to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to give in return for achieving that thing I want, number 1, that desire? So what do I need to do, and what am I willing to give to make that happen? Am I willing to exercise every day for an hour? Am I willing to find the time, because that's a resource? Am I willing to give an hour of my time to exercise every day? Maybe I do an hour of exercise every day on my exercise bike, and I have to do 25 to 35 minutes of yoga and stretching. What am I willing to give in order to achieve what I want to achieve and to get my desire? Step 3, establish a definite date. A definite date by which you want to achieve the number 1 thing. A definite date by which you want to have $1 million. A definite date by which you want to lose 10 pounds, whatever your desire is. Establish a definite date. Create a definite plan for carrying out, this is number 4, create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once. So don't say, I want to have this happen and I'll start tomorrow, or I'll start next Monday because it's a holiday, we've got New Year's coming up. It was just Christmas yesterday. I don't really want to start because there's still candy and cookies around the house. So I'll wait until next Monday. Wrong. No. You got to start right now. So as soon as you decide what you want, you need to take an immediate action toward that. So guess what? As soon as I'm done making this video today, I am going to change into my yoga pants because I'm still in my kitty cat pajamas, and I'm going to go get on my exercise bike, because that is something I'm willing to do or give to achieve the goal that I want in the next 14 days. Step 5, write out a clear, concise, all right, let's try that again. Write out a clear, concise statement of exactly what you want, the amount of money you intend to acquire, name the time limit for its acquisition, state what you intend to give in return for the money, and describe clearly the plan through which you intend to accomplish it or accumulate it. How are you going to get the money? This, again, is the money example. again, for my health example, I will do this right after this live. I will sit down and I will probably type it up in text that I can read. My 6 steps, to really solidify and define my desire. And then the 6th step is to read it out loud twice a day. First thing in the morning when you wake up, and then right before you go to bed. Read it out loud, or at least read it silently. I read mine out loud because I'm divorced and there's nobody there except my kitty cats and teddy bears and sometimes the dogs and cats. So I read mine out loud. And it's supposedly more effective because you hear it in your own voice, and that has an effect and an impact on the speed at which you create things. But reading it in your head is just about as effective, if not as effective. So twice a day, read it. If you can, carry it with you. The reason I type mine up and carry it with me is so that I can carry it with me. I stick it in my purse. I actually stick my magnifying glass, my Think and Grow Rich book, and I use it as a bookmarker, and I stick it in my book, and I carry it with me. Now, this is actually my example for the amount of money I want to achieve. It's got a specific date. It's got a specific amount. It's got what I am going to do in exchange for that amount of money, what my plan is, my definite plan. And then it's got my belief that I have already achieved it. I can feel it. I can taste it. I can hear the money crinkle. I can see it. And then the final statement is it's transferring into my life at the same rate that I'm giving the service that I said that I would give. And I read this twice a day. Twice a day, I read it in the morning and I read it at night. And that's what I recommend that you do as well. So those are the 6 steps for creating the desire and solidifying the desire in your life for whatever it is that you want. So pick something that you want to achieve over the next 14 days. And again, if you're not a believer, pick something small. It doesn't have to be a giant thing. Pick something small. When I first learned about this and about thinking, I would manifest a cup of coffee. I would manifest a free cup of coffee. I would tell myself in the morning, I'm going to somehow get a free cup of coffee today. And lo and behold, sometime during that day, someone would show up at my business or take me out and buy me a coffee. It was incredible. And so then once I discovered, oh, wow, I can manifest a free cup of coffee, I went up to, a free lunch. And so I would say, on any given day, I would really like to manifest a lunch today. And lo and behold, someone would stop by my business and take me out and buy me lunch. Amazing. So then I started doing it with bigger and bigger things. So if you're like I was and you didn't believe in any of this nonsense initially, because I grew up in an environment like the vast majority of us that is negative and not believing and thinks that the world is full of scarcity and lack and that we all have to struggle to have a decent life, I didn't believe in these things either. But then I started trying them out for myself. And it's amazing how our beliefs change and open up and our mind opens up when we actually test things that we hear and learn about on ourselves and in our own lives. Or if we look back on situations and we say, I remember thinking that, and then it happened. How can that possibly be? But if you think of examples like that, and if you test things like that, it's amazing what you will see, create, and happen in your life. And as that belief grows, so does your ability to manifest bigger and bigger and bigger things. So if you are a doubter or a skeptic like I was, go ahead, start with something small and work up to something bigger. Let's see what else Napoleon has for us. Only those who become money conscious ever accumulate great riches. Money consciousness means that the mind has become so thoroughly saturated with the desire for money that one can see oneself already in possession of it. So again, this is the belief and the ability to actually visualize and see in your mind's eye something in your life as if it's already in your life. Feel the feelings of it already being in your life. See it in your life. See the evidence of it appearing in your life and add emotions to that. And that just adds fuel to the desire, fuel to the fire, fuel to the desire of what you want. Again, definiteness of purpose, the knowledge of what you want, and a burning desire to possess it is critical. In planning to acquire your share of the riches, let no one influence you to scorn the dreamer. Don't anybody outside of you, and don't let you inside of you be negative or try to tell you or convince you that what you want you don't deserve. Because guess what? If you can think of it, if you imagined it, if you can possibly dream it, you have the ability within you to make that happen in the world. If I dream of helping the 1.5 billion people with chronic pain on this planet to get out of chronic pain, and that's my real dream and desire and goal, guess what? I don't know how I'm going to make that happen right now, but I'm going to make that happen. I'm going to help as many people as I possibly can that are experiencing chronic pain to get out of chronic pain and live the life that they deserve. That is something that I truly want and desire for the people on this planet. Now, I've never told anyone that before, but I'm sure there's people that are, and it might be you, that will listen to this video and watch this video and say, oh my God, who the hell does she think she is to think that she can impact that many people or even anyone else with chronic pain? Now, I know that I cannot cure anyone's chronic pain. I cannot cure anybody of anything. Guess what? Nobody can. The only person that can ever cure or help and it is entirely possible, by the way, I am proof of that. The only person that can alleviate, eliminate, or cure your chronic pain is you. The only person that can ever create anything in your life is you. Only you. You're here to experience your life as uniquely you, because we're all different. We're all totally individual, unique people, and we're here to create what we want in this life. Nobody can do it for us. Nobody can motivate us. I mean, there's external motivation that works for the short term, but bottom line, motivation always comes from within. Ambition, desire, it always comes from within us. And some of us have bigger hurdles to climb in knowing that we deserve whatever we want than others based on our past experiences and our upbringing and our environment and a whole lot of other factors. But it's possible for all of us, every single one of us. We live in an incredibly infinite, abundant universe, and every single one of us, you included, can have whatever it is that you want. There is no pie where everybody gets a limited piece of it. All scarcity, all lack, it's all made up to keep us from thinking that we can achieve whatever we want. And the people that bust through that false belief are the ones that achieve miraculous things in their life, and they have an incredible life experience. And I want that to be me, and I want that to be you. And I hope that you want that to be you too. So the whole point of that rant was never let anyone outside of you change your mind or influence what you know in your gut and in your heart to be the right thing for you. If the thing you wish to do is right and you believe in it, go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and do it. I believe that me finding a way to help people with chronic pain is absolutely right, and I'm going to figure out how to do it. I've got some ideas. I've got to start, but I don't know the answer. I don't know the whole answer of how to help people with chronic pain, because just like about anything else, chronic pain is different for just about everyone. It comes from a different place and is created in a different way for each of us. And so I think that's why the medical profession and doctors and insurance companies and pharmaceutical companies and everybody do things to mask and to prevent the symptoms of pain, but they're not really addressing the root cause. And I think that's where I'm going to come in. I think I'm going to help people determine what the root cause of their chronic pain is, because until you get to the root cause, all you're doing is putting Band-Aids on symptoms, and Band-Aids on symptoms is never going to result in eliminating chronic pain. Chronic pain is a result of a problem. Pain is a signal to us that there's frickin' something wrong. Until you figure out what's wrong and fix it, or take away the power and flip the switch off of whatever is wrong, the real root cause of what's wrong, you are never going to eliminate the pain. You might mask it, but that's no way to live. No way to live by dulling your experience of this life. So I don't know how, but I do know that I will impact chronic pain in my lifetime. And I will make it better, not worse. He goes on to speak about a burning desire to be and do is the starting point. You have to have a burning desire. You have to want something. It can't be oh, I might try this, or I wish this would happen for me. I hope this happens. I'm going to say bullshit. If you're hoping and wishing and trying, you don't have a burning desire. You're just like so many other people. You're doing the minimum to get by and just, zombie walking through your life. And don't you deserve more? I think you deserve more. I know you deserve more. Remember, too, all who succeed in life get off to a bad start and pass through many heartbreaking struggles before they arrive. Guess what? There are no overnight successes. I know so often the media and the world shows us, and people on social media, Facebook, come on, people, all you ever see is the result and the end result. For the most part, people don't share the real story of their struggle because we all want to think that there is no struggle. I mean, we're all struggling, but we want to think that, oh, one day I'll just wake up and I'll be a billionaire. Doesn't work that way. Anybody who achieves anything has put in the work, put in the effort, put in the desire to achieve whatever it is that they want. And guess what? They haven't gotten there alone. Every person that achieves something great has done it with the help of other people. We're not islands. We're not isolated. One person can make a difference, but that's because one person creates a movement of other people to make great things happen. But there is no overnight success. As much as we'd like to think there was, there isn't. You have to become more to achieve more and to have more. That's just the nature of the universe. He goes on to talk about infinite intelligence and how that helps us all out, and we all have the ability to access that to achieve whatever it is that we can imagine. And then about the art of transmuting our dreams into constructive matter. And we'll learn more about that through the steps, because you need a step-by-step process to make these things happen. But first and foremost, you got to know what you want. What do you desire? What do you want? What are you going after? Pick it. Pick something just for the next 14 days and test this process out. That's my challenge for you. That's my desire for you, is to do this with me. Pick something out and go for it. Learn the process. Test the process out. And then when you prove that it works for you, guess what? Next time you'll pick something bigger and better to achieve in your life. And you'll use the same process and you'll find out, oh, it's just as quick and easy to achieve my big desire as it is my small desire. Maybe I'll keep thinking bigger. Again, nobody is ready for something until they achieve it. I mean, we're not ready to be billionaires until we arrive and get to be billionaires. But we convince ourselves that we've already achieved it, and then we're there, and then we're doing it. And we're doing it successfully. If you're listening to me, and I'm pretty sure you are, you have had 100% successful days. You're here. You've made it through every day so far, every single day so far. The good ones, the bad ones, the challenging ones, the euphoric ones, every single day, every single experience of every single day has led you to this very moment where we're chatting. And again, he goes on to share what I've been sharing is, remember, no more effort is required to aim high in life, to demand abundance and prosperity than is required to accept misery and poverty. And I would contend that it's harder to accept misery and poverty and stress and strife and struggling through life than it is to accept abundance and prosperity. So I say go ahead, let's aim for abundance and prosperity and happy lives versus struggling. And then the last, not quite the last thing, but I'd also like to share a 4-step process that Mary Kay Ash, I think we've pretty much all heard of her, the makeup queen, shared at a conference. And she just used a 4-step thing, which actually goes very closely and is aligned with the 6-step process for defining your desire that Napoleon Hill uses. And that's probably why he shared her example of her speech at a Mary Kay convention. And hers is just a 4-step process. Number 1, imagine yourself successful. Always picture yourself successful. So she is there in step 1, visualizing what she wants as if she's already achieved it. Her step 2 is reflect on your past successes. So go back, think about the successes that you've had in your life, and reflect on those. learn from those experiences, feel those feelings that you had when you had those successful experiences, and that will carry them through to your future. Again, her step 3 is set definite goals. Have definite goals that you set and you want to achieve. I'm sure she set sales goals for her organization, but you're going to set whatever goal it is that you want, a definite, specific, dated goal for this next 2-week period. And then respond positively to life. Guess what? Life is going to throw all kinds of crap at us, especially when we set a definite goal and a definite desire and we make a decision to go after something. Life will throw all kinds of situations at you, and mostly it's to test your resolve and to see if you're really serious about what you say you want. And if you are, guess what? You'll just roll with whatever happens, and you'll deal with those situations, and you'll move forward. Adversity brings with it the seed of equivalent advantage. So Napoleon Hill is telling us, guess what? Every adversity, every obstacle that we face, that we overcome or walk around or step over, is just increasing our resolve and increasing our desire and belief in what we want. So faith and belief plus a strong desire equals whatever you want. That's one of the notes I wrote in my chapter. That's my personal summary of the entire chapter of desire. Faith and belief in what you want plus a strong desire will make it possible for you to achieve whatever you want. And then my other note in the end of the chapter was cut the word impossible out of your dictionary, out of your personal dictionary. In my early 20s, I cut the word depression out of my vocabulary and out of my life. And I can honestly say I don't think I've felt depressed ever since I decided that I would never be depressed again. And that was a conscious choice. I consciously chose, after a really hard time in my early 20s health-wise and health challenges, and I'm sure huge bouts of depression, to cut depression out of my life and say that no matter what's going on in my life, no matter what challenges I have, I will not choose depression as a way I am going to feel. I just can't allow that in my life because it's not going to get me what I want. And so after reading this chapter on desire, I decided that now impossible has to leave my dictionary as well. There's no room for impossible in my life anymore. So I'm cutting that out, and I'm going to say, in addition to depression, I cannot ever believe that anything is impossible, because I do believe that everything is possible. Hi, Sandra. Glad to see you. I hope you had an awesome Christmas. And with that, I'm going to sign off. Tomorrow, we are going to learn about the second step in Napoleon Hill's process toward achieving anything that you want in less than 2 weeks. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but go ahead, go to work on your desire. For today, create your statement. Create your statement of what you want. Again, the 6 steps, decide what you want. Put a specific amount to it or a specific goal to it. I'm going to use weight loss, I said, for this 2-week challenge or this 14-day challenge. You can use an amount of money or whatever you want, but make sure it's a specific amount that you pick out. Don't just pick out a general amount. Make sure that it's specific. Then write down, what are you going to do in return for that money, or what are you going to, I hate the word sacrifice, but I will say sacrifice. By sacrifice, I mean choose your resources that you're willing to give up in order to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve in the next 14 days. So mine, let's say I'm going to lose 10 pounds. I'm going to say 10 pounds, which is kind of a lot for 14 days for me, given how old I am and out of shape. But I will say 10 pounds is my specific thing. Or maybe I'll say 7 pounds, because that's a specific number. So instead of saying 10, I'm going to say, for my 14-day challenge, I'm going to lose 10 pounds. Now, what am I going to do to lose that 10 pounds? Okay, I'm going to do an hour of aerobic exercise a day. I'm giving my resources of time and energy to exercise to help me achieve that desire. Then, I've actually lost the page. Oh, here we go. The third thing, establish a definite date. Now, I'm going to use January 7th because that's 2 weeks from today. I believe that's the right date. So that's my specific date for this particular example. Then create a definite plan for carrying out your desire. So I will sit down today after this live and write a specific plan for how I am going to achieve my desire of losing 7 pounds by January 7th. I'm going to write it out in a clear statement. I'm going to type it up in big bold letters so I can read it without my magnifying glass. And every morning and every night, I will read it out loud. And then I will go through each of these steps with you, and we will see what we can achieve by January 7th together. Thanks. You have an awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.